You're faithful in Jesus Christ. Pope Francis' original name is Horace Mario Bergoglio, was born in Buenos Aires in Argentina. He was the head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City State from 13 March 2013 until his death. He was the first pope from the Society of Jesus, the Jesuit order, the first from the Americas and Southern Hemisphere, and the first pope outside Europe. Pope Francis was inspired to join the Jesuits in 1958 after recovering from severe illness. He was ordained a Catholic priest in 1969. From 1973 to 1979, he was the Jesuit provincial superior in Argentina. He became the Archbishop of Buenos Aires in 1998 and was made a cardinal in 2001 by Pope John Paul II. Following the resignation of Pope Benedict XVI on 28 February 2013, a papal conclave elected Pope Francis as his successor on 13th March. He chose Francis as his papal name in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi. Throughout his public life, Francis was noted for his humility, emphasis on God's mercy, international visibility as Pope, his concern for the poor, and commitment to interreligious dialogue. He was known for having a less formal approach to the papacy than his predecessors. For example, choosing to reside in the house of St. Martha, a guest house, rather than in the papal apartments of the Apostolic Palace used by previous popes. Pope Francis made women full members in the Roman Curia. He maintained that the Catholic Church should be more sympathetic toward members of the LGBTQ community. Francis was a critic of unbridled capitalism, consumerism, and overdevelopment. He made action on climate change a leading focus on his papacy. He was widely interpreted as denouncing the death penalty as intrinsically evil, stating that the Catholic Church is committed to its oblation. In international diplomacy, Francis criticized the rise of right-wing populism, called for the decriminalization of homosexuality. He helped to restore full diplomatic relations between the United States and Cuba. He negotiated a deal with the People's Republic of China to define how much influence the Communist Party had in appointing Chinese bishops and supported the cause of refugees. He called protection of migrants a duty of civilization, and he criticized anti-immigration politics. In 2022, he apologized for the Church's role in the cultural genocide of the Canadian indigenous peoples. Francis convened the Synod of Synodality, which was described as the culmination of his papacy and the most important event in the Catholic Church since the Second Vatican Council. Pope Francis was hospitalized for various health conditions toward the end of his life. In the weeks before his death, he had been making lesser public appearances to be treated for chronic lung disease, including a respiratory crisis and pneumonia. He made his last public appearance the day before on Easter Sunday. Pope Francis died on April 21st, that is today, morning at 7:35 in 2025 in Vatican City. He was 88 years, and he requested pared down funeral rites, aligning with his lifelong humility. He also requested to be buried at the Rome Basilica of Saint Mary Major, not in the Vatican like other popes, so that he would be closer to his favorite icon of the Madonna. At 7:35 this morning, the Bishop of Rome, Pope Francis, returned to the house of Father. Cardinal Kevin Farrell said in a statement, his entire life was dedicated to the service of the Lord and of his church. So, let us remember him in our prayers, that the good Lord may grant him eternal rest. God bless you.